It's just one full week in between, really. It's not fast enough for some. For others, it's too fast. All right, so here we go, guys. Pay attention, okay? So quite often, guys, these questions are related to a table. Quite often, the province likes tables, but not always. Sometimes they're arranged, sometimes they're not, right? So what's the percentile rank for number 12? Think of number 12 as for a score of 80%, or for a height of, we talked about height yesterday, think of this as the actual score or value considered. So this is on page 133, okay, at the bottom. So if you look at, let's assume this is a class right here. This is one of the class or a group, and you're going to rank this number based on what's in this group. So 12 is right there, okay? So in this case, there are only two values. It's already arranged, so you don't have to check the rest, correct? So then percentile rank, yes, the formula is PR. PR is two values over, count, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 times 100. Don't forget the times 100, right? And that is actually a nice round number, 20th. Just leave it like that. You don't need to add anything else. If you just leave it at 20th, that's fine, but do not put percentage, right? So that means that 20% of values are less than, right? Less than 12. That's what you're asking. That's what you're figuring out there. Next, 12 is over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values that are lower. So 5 over 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 times 100. I don't like it that the numbers are always nice and even. Like it's not gonna, most likely it's not gonna be the case. So this is gonna be the 50th percentile. So in this group, a score of 12 or a height of 12 or whatever you want to call it, you would say that 50% of values are less than or below 12, right? So that's what we're figuring out, okay? So obviously in this group, you're more at the bottom, right? If you're in a 20th percentile, so you're more at the bottom. The higher the number, the higher you're doing better than everybody else, right? What's 50th also known as? 50%, it's the median. It's half, it's median. So I'm going to put that down. Like if you notice that is the median actually. Half and half. It's kind of like the halfway point. So this should be a slam dunk. If I do something like this, you should just know what to do. Okay. Next, let's keep going here. These ones I already gave you the answers, but I'm just gonna give you a couple more here. So Jordy earned a grade of 80%. What's the percentile rank? That's key for percentile, right? That's what you're calculating. So you're gonna go percentile rank. There are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, 18, 20, right? 20 students, 20 scores that you're considering, okay? So that is what you put down here, and 80 is the grade you're considering. This is already a range, so it means that 4 scores, right? 4 scores. Oops, sorry, don't include the 80. Right? 4 scores are lower than the 80%. You understand what's happening, right? And so this is 20th. Oh, and yesterday I talked about this briefly at the end. Or PR 20. Sometimes it's stated like this. So you choose how you want to state it, but you should know that a PR 20 is a 20th percentile. Meg earned 76%. What's the percentile rank? So percentile rank for a mark of 76. You go over here, there's only one, right? 1 over 20 times 100. Don't forget the times 100. Does this give me exactly 5? I think so. So fifth, or PR 5. Jazz earned 100%. What's the percentile rank? So PR 100 is right here. So there are 19 scores that are less than. Okay, so 19 over 20 times 100. And that is, it is possible. Did you say impossible? Anybody say impossible? I thought I heard 95th or PR 95. Both of them are acceptable ways to do that. So here we actually compared someone's test score. Okay. And so what does that mean? 95%. Let's do this because we have a name now. I will do it this way. 95% of students scored less than Jazz, right? We have a name. You could say less than 100% or less than Jazz, right? Here, we could say that Meg, right? Only 5% of students scored less than Meg, right? And so there we have it. Babies born at St. Boniface. You don't like St. Boniface? No? Oh, I have a lot of St. Boniface questions. So you want me to change it? Health Science Center. Okay, got it. I didn't make this book. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Good question. Oh, so now you're making a correlation between St. Boniface and okay. So you know how you overcome that? You face your fears, right? So you just look St. Boniface right in the eyes, like it's not gonna happen again. Okay. Was this tricky? Okay. All right. There are 14 babies born in St. Boniface. Both of my boys were born in St. Boniface, so I don't mind it. It was pretty good. It was a pretty good day for me. All right. Monique's baby weighed 3,050 grams. What's the baby's percentile rank? And I'm going to pause here for a bit. If you ever have a newborn and you need to go see your doctor frequently, like when they're newborns, right? Every week, and then every month, and every 3 months, and every 6 months. But what do they do every single time? They weigh, yeah, they weigh them. They measure length, circumference of the head, right? Like they do the check, check, check. And your doctor will actually sit you down and say, well, okay, let's look at your baby's height. So there's percentiles. They'll actually have this, like a bunch of this. There'll be the 10th percentile, 20th percentile, all the way to 100, right? So your doctor will say, well, in terms of weight, you are right here, 20th. That's not good. You kind of want to be in the 50th percentile. 20th is meaning your baby needs to gain more weight. Like you think that we all try to lose weight, right? When it comes to babies, they're worried when your baby isn't gaining weight. That's actually a flag. Then you need to do something quick, right? And so my boys, what do you think in terms of the weight and the height? They were always somewhere up here in the 90th or 100th percentile because they come after me, right? They're going to be tall, heavy, all of those things, right? So percentile rank is used very much in that when it comes to weight, okay, and height and stuff of newborns. Just an aside. Okay, so when each baby weighed this much, based on what we have here, it's a range. Not always will it be. Uh, please be mindful of that it's not always. So here you count. We already know there's 14 of them, but if not, you would just count and then just look at this weight. That puts you right there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, it's too easy. This one is too easy. No rounding necessary. but it's the 50th percentile, which is again the median. And what does that mean if I ask you here? 50%, because it's 50th, right? 50% of babies weigh less than 3,050 grams. Or you could have said weigh less than Monique's baby. It's the same thing, right? So I'm going to skip the next. I think, or did this one give you a decimal? Because you all did it, right? Yeah. It's weird though. Somebody's doing the homework. 2230. That means it's 1/14 times 100. Here it is. Ready for this one? Because if you get this wrong, you don't get full marks. You will not get full marks. So this is actually 7.14. And then you just go right next to it and just say 7th or 8th. It's up to you what you want to do. I usually go up because that means that, right, you're taking account, because it's a ranking system, right? You make sure that the 7.14 are below you, okay? Or, right, PR7 or PR8, okay? What percentile rank for the heaviest baby? It's 93rd percentile. You just take the heaviest, and there's 13 that are less, right? That way less. So could you have a percentile rank of 100? It can't be, because you have to include, like, you are in the data, right? So the highest is 99 by definition. Yeah, the highest is 99. Okay, I want to do the trickier one. It's not that bad. Well, let's see here. And then I'll do a backwards yet. There's always a backwards. Okay. Pay close attention to this one, because this one is gonna something like this. So I'll put some easier ones in there, and then I'll put one where it really tests whether or not you're understanding percentile rank. So this is on page 135. 135. Tom and Sarjeet have just completed a mortgage brokerage in British Columbia course. In order to become mortgage brokers, there are 175 people. I'm going to start highlighting things, right? There are 175 people in the course. That is going to be our N, right? That's going to be our total. N. And it says here, if 90 of the students scored lower than Tom in the course, what is his percentile rank? This right here scored lower. That is what? That is our B, right? And N is right there. So this question, yeah, this one is pretty straightforward. So percentile rank would just be 90 over 175 times 100. Yeah, this one I would expect you to get. So this is 51 times 100, right? Do it again. 51.43, but you will say 53rd, no, 52nd, right? 52nd or PR 52. Did he do all right? Is he like exceptional? Did he do exceptional, or it's about a half? So it's not great, not bad, but it's like middle of the pack, right? So 52% of students scored lower than Tom. Okay, so that we got that part figured out. Let's do B. If 50 of the students scored higher than Sarjeet, what's going on there? Because we're not used to that. Scored higher. 3 people got the same. What's the percentile rank? Can you circle higher and then same? Two things we don't want for percentile rank, right? You do not want that. That's not going to help you. You can't plug that in. Okay. So B is how many scored lower, right? So you would go total minus higher minus same. I just made that one up, right? That's why it doesn't look like a legit formula, but that's what you would do, right? To find out how many scored lower, you just take the 175 students, that's way up there that we were told. We're going to subtract the students that scored higher. We're going to subtract the scores that are the same. And what else do we need to subtract? You get $100 if you get this right. I'm just kidding. What's that? There's something missing here. Lower, you want scores lower. So total is there. Students that scored higher. And then 3 scored the same. You still have to subtract yourself, right? Does that make sense? Right? When we counted the baby weights, did we consider the actual value? 3,050, that Monique's baby? We didn't, right? You never count the actual value. So you have to go minus Sarjeet. And that's why this is tricky. Because of that. Okay, you gotta subtract the value itself. Okay? So what do we have? If you want to take this course again, next semester, I promise I will revamp this booklet like there's no tomorrow. It'll be way better. I'm gonna make my own. All right. Some of it is, but not all. So this is now you know these ones scored lower. So let's go ahead and find the percentile rank. It's 121 over 175 times 100. Oops. Do you think it's going to be higher? There are more students below than before, right? Before we had 90 students below. So you're going to do better, right? Sarjeet is going to do better. Most likely. So at 69.14, and we're going to go 70th. I usually bump it up. You can go whichever way you want, as long as you don't give me a decimal. Okay. What can you say about how Tom and Sarjeet scored compared to each other? Let's answer just, if I ask you, what does this mean? 70% of students scored below Sarjeet. Do we know their actual scores? Do we know like what Sarjeet scored on the test? We don't. We don't. There's no way to find out actually. We don't even know what the test was out of, right? Like what was it out of? Out of 100? Out of 1,000? What was it, right? So we cannot say we don't know the actual score on the test for either person. We don't know that. That's very important to remember. And I'll show you how I will. I'm not going to try to trick you. I just want to know, do you understand the difference, right? So, Sarjeet's PR is greater than Tom's, right? Therefore, Sarjeet did better on the test. Oh, did I ever tell you what the 3 dots mean? Therefore. Can't you see it? Therefore. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. That's a good one. Maybe submit that to the Math Society Consortium, whatever. Um, can we do this? This is also important for you to know. Complete addition here. This would be 0. This would be 100, right? Where would be? Yeah, we would put Tom. Let's put 50th here. Is the 50th? Tom would be right about there. Tom. Okay. And 70th, I'm going to say it's right about there. So this is 70 and 52nd. What percentage is in between them? Because you know, right, it's 70 less, it's 52% less. So we can actually figure out the percentage of students that are in between them. 70 minus 52, that's 18, right? 18% of students scored between them. Well, let's just put it that way, between them. Maybe we will have to leave the backwards for tomorrow. We'll see. I'll do one now. It's not that bad, actually. It's way easier than backwards with weighted mean. Way easier. So, follow me here. I'm going to go back a little bit. I just want to see that, yeah, I figured out. So go back to 133, okay? At the top of this, you put backwards. You ready for this? How do you know something is backwards? Like with averages, they give you the average you're supposed to get. You know it's backwards, right? Yeah, they give you the percentile rank. So right, but they give you what you used to calculate, right? So that's given right there, right? Daniel is 7 weeks old, and his weight placed him in the 70th percentile. If there are 200 babies, how many would weigh less than Daniel? Watch this. You start with this. PR is equal to B over N times 100. Right? Yeah, we're going to find B right now. So PR is 70. B is unknown. What's N? 200 times 100. Right. So that's what I'm going to do, guys. This is how I would do it. I would say divide this by 100 and divide this by 100. You're basically multiplying both sides by 1 over 100, but that's beside the point. Just do this. You can do that. What's 70 divided by 100? 0.7. And watch this. You've done this your whole, I don't know, Junior high, or high school, you've done this a lot. What does this look like? Cross, multiply, and divide, right? Remember the trick? Did I ever show you the trick? Trademark. No, I don't think so. Right? So it's just B is equal to 200 times 0.7. Have an example on your study sheet of this, right? Multiply both sides by 200. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So this is 140. Babies weigh less. So that's backwards. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Just show me the work. Show me what you're doing, not just B is this. Yeah. Are we comparing babies? So if you're in the 70th percentile, right, that means 70% of babies weigh less. Yeah, you're heavier. We don't know the exact weight of Daniel, but we do know he's on the heavier side. No, that's not right. That's not right. We don't know the actual weight of, we just know that he weighs more than 140. Compared to the 200 babies that are there, if you're told the weight places you in the 70th percentile, that's what it comes out to be. You have no idea what the weight is. Zero. You just know that comparatively, that's where you're at. Mm-hmm. Okay. One more, guys. I know you want to pack, and I know your tummy is telling you, I want to go. One more. Here. Follow, follow, follow. I promise you this will take 2 minutes, and you have 3 minutes to just relax. Emily's weight puts her in the 55th percentile. Right? If 45 babies weigh less than Emily, that's B. How many babies are there? That's N. They're asking you for it. So same thing. 55 is equal to 45 over N times 100. I would make sure that on my study sheet I have a different color here to see what I'm doing next. Right? You're left with 0.55 is equal to 45 over N. You put the little 1 there, so you will actually cross multiply this times 1 divided by 0.55. See, I told you, 2 minutes, less than that. 45 times 1 divided by 0.55. And that is, anybody do it? That's 81.82, which you can't have, right? We're going to round it to 82 babies. That's a different question, right? Okay, to be continued. Your homework is to make sure it's on your study sheet.